Hi gorgeous, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to take you through some hacks that are going to help you solve some of your biggest issues and pain points when it comes to draping a sari. On Instagram, I asked you, what are your biggest issues? What holds you back from draping a sari? And you shared so many with me. And today I hope to share some solutions for you. Many of you say that it's hard to take your pallu pleats or to pleat the front pleats and have the pleats stay in place. And I feel like the major reason that is because you're not ironing out any previous folds, whether that's from draping before or just folds from hanging and storing your sari. You want to make sure you're starting with a blank slate and making it as easy as possible for you to drape and pleat, whether that's your pallu or your front pleats. So iron the entire sari for the easiest route to beautiful pleats. A lot of times when you find that the chest pleats are too puffy, it's because the material is fighting against the pleats that you've created on your chest. And for that, my biggest tip is just to iron down the chest pleats so that there is no puffiness or extra puffiness that you don't want there. To carry it through, you just want to press down and lift for the rest of the pleats. The front pleat opening is usually because you haven't left enough fabric. So for example, let me show you the mistake that probably happens. So if you start here and you don't give enough fabric to the first pleat, this is what happens. Once I do that, this first pleat is already opening up. Do you see that? It's not really falling like the rest of them. And so then when I go to stagger, it's gonna really not listen. And also there isn't any extra, like once I tuck it in, there isn't really any extra fabric here for it to hold its place. So it's gonna constantly, as you move, want to just open up like that. So what you wanna do to prevent that and to give it enough sari so that when you move, obviously you're gonna move and you're gonna walk and you're gonna sit so that it doesn't open up too much. What you're gonna do instead is start your pleat to the left of your belly button. So once you do that, you have all of this fabric here that you can play with. And because you can move the pleat even after you stagger it, it's not fighting between wanting to be here and then obviously not having enough space, so like opening up like that. You're leaving it enough space and you're leaving it enough fabric here so that when you do move, it's not gonna wanna open up and slide over to the right side of your body. So you want that extra fabric, and I'm gonna show you in a minute what to do with that extra fabric once you tuck this in. Because you're like, okay, well then I have all this extra fabric sitting here when I tuck in my front pleats. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you what to do with that. Once you have your front pleats, you never want to just leave them like this because it doesn't look very nice. You want it to flare out, so you wanna help the pleats be able to do that a little bit. What you wanna do here is stagger them ever so slightly. So you just wanna stagger them so that the pleats are stacked like this. This inside pleat, once I've staggered the pleats and kind of stacked them, you can kind of see that it's kind of sticking out. Do you guys see that? It's kind of like sticking out extra. What I do is if I'm not gonna take hip pleats for this particular drape, which I'm gonna do here anyway, but one thing you can do is just pick up that last pleat and bring it in ever so slightly. I would say maybe like a third of the way in to the last pleat. And then when you do that, you can see it just beautifully falls like that. And then when you take your hip pleats, it's gonna look even nicer and neater. Once I'm happy with all of my pleats, I'm gonna pin them all together. The inside pleat is brought in a little bit from the last pleat, and I'm happy with this. So I'm going to position it to the right of my belly button, like so, and then tuck it in as neatly as I possibly can. Okay, so there's the pleats. And then you have this situation here and you have this situation, and we're gonna fix that. So what you're gonna do is first you're gonna reach inside this little pocket here and pull this fabric, and I've shown this in so many of my drape videos. You're just going to pull that And you see all these hip pleats forming here just organically. And pull that nice and neat. And then do a little twist onto your right thigh and tuck it in. And then for this bit of fabric that you have left over, again, like I showed you before, you don't want this to be non-existent. You don't want it to just go straight into your pleats, and the first pleat is definitely gonna open up. You definitely want a little bit of fabric here. You also don't want to fold this back, because when you fold it back, what happens? It pulls on the first pleat. What you wanna do is kind of gather it and fold it forward, because even if it's gonna move, it's just gonna move towards this pleat and kind of give it that extra fabric that it needs so it doesn't open up. And then you can just nicely and neatly tuck it in here, and then you can just do a little pull like that so everything tightens up, and then you're good to go. I hope you found all of the hacks in this video useful. If you have any issues or pain points when it comes to draping a sari, I'd love to know what they are in the comments below, and I might feature them in a future video. They always help me create the content that you're looking for. This is just part one of Sari Hack series that I'm hoping to share with you, so make sure you subscribe to be notified of all future videos. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you soon.